Fun people.
It is a horror convention.
Fun and profit.
I mean, isn't that what they do in the horror movie industry, though? It's the appropriate place for it. Anyway, thank you so much for chatting with me. I appreciate it.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And if you got my, if you get bored, you can find me.
Did you drop that off?
That's me.
I didn't even know what it was.
Candy.
I don't know where it came from, what it was. I'm not eating it.
It's candy. It's literally M&Ms and gummy worms in a syringe.
With the gelatin.
It's just like one gummy worm and a bunch of M&Ms. It's supposed to be something just cheap, and there's nobody to, I'm not a room in my car, so I'm like, giving it away to everybody.
Everybody, there's nobody can give it to.
But if I want to bring my clothes home, something's got to move. I had an extra passenger that I didn't expect, so.
Oh, you got an extra passenger?
So it's like, something's got to go. Here's the giveaway.
Maybe you can get him to spring for gas.
Yeah, that's the least of my problems. I got a little impala, so it's just cramped. But anyways, you too. Nice meeting you. Have a good one. Bye. Hi. Ladies, how's the convention treating you so far? Very well, very well. Did you have a good turnout?
Yes, for Linnea, yes. She had a very good turnout.
Nice. Glad to hear a good success.
Yeah.
Interview over there. We're not interrupt her.
She's done.
Nice. Maybe we will bug her. I don't know. Bye, ladies. Have a good one. How has the convention been treating you? Good? Did you have a good turnout?
Yeah, been a good time.
Nice.
Good time.
Will you be back next year?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Thank you.
Good. Do you guys want to do some quick history for the camera?
Do what?
Do some quick history for the camera?
History?
Yeah. Like about you?
Oh, about me?
Yeah.
Sure. I've been in the paranormal field for 35 years.
Now, how did you get started?
I had my own experiences when I was
Like
young.
what?
What?
Like what?
I didn't know when I started back then. It was now new. People didn't talk about it. You didn't know about it. I didn't know what I was going through. I was empath, and I didn't know. So I would go even to like family parties, and I would start to feel weird because I found out later on I can sense energy and emotions.
Could you ever feel like somebody's pain, like if you walked into a room, like, oh, somebody whose arm hurts? Have you ever had that?
Yes.
Dude.
And that's what it's weird. And when you're a young kid,
I didn't know.
Yeah, you're a young kid and and nobody's talking about stuff like that. You don't know what's going on. I thought something was wrong with me. I would feel people's emotions. Like I would start sweating if somebody was nervous. And it was strange. I didn't know what was going on. So I started like trying to look into it. It's kind of what guided me into getting into it. It was tough. Couldn't talk about it back then. If I told my parents, they would have probably locked me up.
Oh, I know. My parents. That's Satan!
They still, I think, want to lock me up now. But, little by little, I started researching. I found some people that were into it. And it was like 1989, I was able to get into an actual residential case.
Nice.
And
now, where was that at?
It was in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Down south of Jersey. And it turned out to be a rare demonic case as my first residential case. Those are very, very rare. But it just happened to me. And the guy next to me we were in there 5 to 10 minutes. He got full on attacked, scratches from his neck to his spine. most people would have never ever gotten back to do something like this. It actually made me have more questions. And
Yeah.
like, why did it attack him? Why didn't it get, like what?
Right.
So it made me kind of research more and kind of catapulted me into really going and learning. So
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time. I've been probably close to 1,000 cases.
So in all your cases, let me ask you this, because somebody just brought this up the other day. So if you have a spirit in your house, that's not necessarily evil feeling,
Right.
but they give you clues on how you should be living your life, as in steering you in the right direction. Have you ever had anybody talk about that?
Yes, but it was more on. It turned out to be more on the psychiatric side. So, like I've encountered during the day. I'm an IT director, but I work for a psychiatric drug and alcohol treatment facility. So I've learned a lot about mental illness, addiction. The ones that we've had where it was something like that really turned out to be somebody with schizophrenia, because they were telling us that there's specific things we look for, because it's hard to tell the difference between schizophrenia and
Yeah.
haunting.
Oh, I've always thought that.
Yeah, it's very similar because they're hearing voices.
Very similar.
But his voices would yell at him when he ate bad food, and it would try to make him eat better food. And would get mad if he didn't eat healthy food.
See, this person was telling me something like they would just see signs, like the entity in their house would give them signs, like this person's a bad person, or don't do
That could
this,
be.
or don't go here, or don't answer the phone, or little subtle
Yeah,
clues.
some are helpful.
Yeah.
Like somebody I know, they had a ghost in their house for a long time, and they believed it was there to help them. Because one night they woke up and the mother was pulled out of bed by the ghost onto the floor, and she looked up at him. She got nervous, and he disappeared. And she heard something in the stairs, so she didn't know what was going on. She called the cops. The cops showed up. Somebody was breaking in the house. So they truly believe that he woke her up to let her know.
I got chills on that one. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So at that, if it's telling you things in your head, there's a difference between voices you're hearing in your head and then voices outside that you're hearing calling you or something.
What about things through electronics?
Electronics?
Yeah. Like, for example, I was in this house in New Orleans, and the radio would always turn to 1950s music, and then I found out somebody in the 50s was murdered there.
Right.
So have you ever had, like, those type of electronic things, or things going awry, or, you know what I mean?
They pull energy to try to manifest, to try to communicate. So, like, in one of my cameras, I have 16 or 18 rechargeable batteries that go with me, because I've been places where 10 in a row just dead, and it's because it drained the energy from them. Now they can obviously manipulate electronics, but I tell them, some people I try to explain to them. I get clients that come up and go, "Look at these pictures. I don't know who took them. We were sleeping in the middle of the night and somebody took them." They cannot pick up your phone, unlock your
That's a
phone,
little, yeah.
take photos.
Yeah, it's a little weird, yeah.
They can manipulate stuff and drain stuff.
Yeah.
They cannot just do things like that. There's a
Yeah.
different market.
Yeah.
So,
But it's like changing the station on a radio, for example.
Sure.
That would be something that they, in the New Orleans situation, that's what it was. It's like you turn on the radio and every time it switched to 1950s
Right.
music.
right. And that's what a lot of our equipment does, because they're manipulating the actual equipment. Most of that stuff we don't use in a residential home or in public locations. But, that's some of this stuff is not reliable evidence
Right.
to help a person. But it's fun in public locations,
Now, I mean, not reliable evidence, but what do you think of, like, when I was in Orlando one time, they have a ghost tour, and they had the flashlights where they just barely turn it on, and it's like, oh, if it's an answer, the light will turn on, and if it's not, what do you think of stuff like that?
I'll tell you 100% about that, because it's one of the things I lecture about. A flashlight is to see in the dark. That's all you use it for. Again, they can manipulate electronics and energy. So if you want to sit your flashlight down and ask it something and tell it to turn it on, if it wants to, it can turn it on. But when you take a flashlight and you unscrew it to where it just breaks the connection, you're manipulating the actual device. So we have videos of somebody who did actual scientific tests where if the temperature in the room changed high or low by even 1 or 2 degrees, it actually makes the thing expand and contract and makes it touch. So most of the time when you see it go off, it's because the connection just happens to touch for a second. It's a natural cause.
Yeah.
It is not.
Now, whereas we were talking about Robert the Doll here,
Yes.
and like I said, I had where the bathroom is, the door next to it, there's the figurine that is not Robert, but it's the one they had taken on tour that's,
Right.
and right next to it is the Santeria thing. And as we were filming, I was holding, they have a red flashlight that you can hold.
Right.
And my friend's filming me, and the flashlight would turn off at certain points when I talked about Santeria, it just turned off.
Right.
You know what I mean? So stuff like that.
That's different than manipulating. There's no reason to manipulate. That's for TV, again, entertainment.
Right.
I never bash the TV shows because I watch them myself. I've been on a couple. I don't. It's just you have to distinguish the difference between entertainment and reality. So,
Yeah. It's very interesting, though.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. Definitely something I've always been into myself. So, well, cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I very much appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Now, where are you going after this?
I'm actually, when I leave here tomorrow morning, I'm going to another hotel, and I'm going to be up here for a week, going to Harlem and Horror Nights every night.
Nice.
Next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be at Horror Nights.
That is actually a really good plan. I'm jealous.
Yeah. Then I go back. I live down in Coral Springs, so then I go down.
Oh, so okay. So you're just I'm in Port Charlotte, so I'm
okay.
other side. But I used to live in Homestead, so very familiar.
Right. Once I go home, then I have 4 weekends in a row that we have library.
Nice.
At West Palm, Miami, Coconut Creek. So
Now, is there a place that people can look for information on this?
Sure.
As far as, is there a website or something I can?
Right.
Is this it?
My website is billslevin.com, and my team website is P.E.R.S.F.L.com.
What was that? P.E.R.?
P.E.R.S.F.L.com.
Okay. There we go.
So that has information on my team. The other one has information on me, but we do put everything we do around that.
Nice. Definitely a good thing. Thank you.
Good.